Well, AKAPADers, welcome back to the drawing table. Cheers. Good morning to you. It's Peter A. DeLuca. We got a good one today. And I know we have something that no one's talking about. It's Fantastic Four month. So let's just ignore some of the most impactful talent to ever touch the book, the pages, the company of Marvel Comics. Paul Ryan, right here. Paul Ryan, Tom DeFalco. People make fun of and they bash the hell out of this run because the Invisible Woman has there's like a issue here, right? She gets the window boob, they call it, right here. So we get it in like this issue, a couple pages in. Nope, we get it in the previous issue. Hold on. Where's 374? Oh, I thought I was going to be slick, and right here, 374, right? Towards the end of 374, or is it the beginning? Maybe it's the beginning, right? Like, Sue gets, like, she gets, like, a new costume, and she gets pissed at Reed because he doesn't notice, and she's like, I could just be, like, naked. I could be, like, naked, and you're just so busy working, right? Like, it's the same argument we've had since the 60s. Rinse and repeat. Give me more of the same. So Paul Ryan and Tom DeFalco, they go into this run. And previously, I only had issue 381. I bought this recently. We did an unboxing. I got this at Collingswood, New Jersey Festival. There's a comic shop there. I got this out of the dollar bin. And this has one of the biggest shock endings in Marvel history. I didn't reveal it there. I'll show it to you guys now. But again, like, 381, random issue, you spend $1.25, and at the end of the issue, Dr. Doom just nukes Reed Richards. So it's like, what? Right? So I thought I would show you guys how good of an artist Paul Ryan really is. I think he is one of the guys of this day, and previously I've known him in Avengers, and I knew him through the Marvel Universe Impel Series 1 trading card set. He was, I think, of a Marvel house style back during this time, right? But he draws everything well. And he draws a ton of different characters. So we got 375 here, 382. Let's just kind of get these going. 380. I just picked these up. Someone cut me one hell of a deal on these. Here we go. 393, 370. I do have that white issue. Here we go. 374. I'm hoping a lot of you are watching this, getting some flashbacks where you're like, oh my God, I remember reading that. I know how untrue that actually is. Here we go. This is the Human Torch Supernova issue, which is also red. There's a red version of that. That's the second printing. That was a big deal for the day. 382. So, like, even too, like, they nuke Reed Richards. One Invisible Woman has, right? She's looking like a hooker, but not really. Whatever. But then, like, the Thing has this. And I want to show you guys what happens with the Thing. But this is true Fantastic Four history and lore that I just feel a lot of people just ignore. I go 373, 372, and this is 371 and 370. So, okay, wow. What a run. And we have it coming out of, you guys saw, like, the Infinity War. So Infinity War happens. I'm not even sure what happens in this issue, but I mean, look at Paul Ryan drawing Magnus, and he's working in like the 90s cross hatching. We're at 1992 here. Look, he draws a great Magnus, a decent Adam Warlock, right? And by decent I mean like height. You know, I'm being too kind, but look. Right, like a nice looking Thanos. So we're dealing with this era in American comics, right? Where it's like the Image guys are really interrupting. I mean, but look at this though. I mean, again, judge some of these guys by how well they can draw a universe of characters, because you have to be able to draw everything. But Image like disrupts what the perception is of the American comic book artist. The readership goes in one direction, the collectors go in one direction, and it's almost like chaos ensues. This is Human Torch's ex-girlfriend, by the way. He was banging her for a while, but she's a Skrull. So we get this, like big return with issue 70. But we also get, I think we get this, like, they return from the snap. Like, they return from the snap. So, like, their life goes back to normal, right? Like, everything gets reversed. Just like in Infinity War. Not Gauntlet, Infinity War, sorry. But then in here, we get, at the time, I feel like the first time Johnny Storm ever went Nova. Which is right here. Right? He goes supernova. And I think the only previous time that happened was in the John Byrne run. But then I think he's been Nova. Like they make Johnny Storm go Nova once a year now. But this was like a big deal, which is why we have the white cover. And then like Johnny Storm gets all of this heat. But if we're just like flipping through these issues, again, like such a nice range of like a lot of variety, like spaceships, computer screens, like again, like hitting everything you're supposed to hit. And there is a modern line style to this. He's cross-hatching, the lines are thinner, there's less brush, there's more dip pen and crow quill. So Johnny Storm kind of goes on this like trial and tribulation, and then in 374, the Secret Defenders show up. And again, too, like he's drawing the I guess the big era Peter David Hulk, but the new Defenders at the time had Wolverine and Ghost Rider and Spider-Man, because whatever. But then he's like drawing the Inhumans. Doctor Doom gets a new design. And the big thing that happens in this issue is that Wolverine like flinches, right? Like the thing like snaps him right into the floor, like shatters his vertebrae, his metal vertebrae. But Wolverine kind of like hits him, and Ben Grimm gets he gets a deformity from it, so they give him a helmet. So that's where like the Thing helmet came from. And again, like a weird pivotal point in Fantastic Four history that no one talks about. But Paul Ryan's here to draw all of it. So like again, like big moment. So we get like big moment there, big moment here. So within like a few months, it's like pivotal moments. And we're doing like this slow, we can't return to center dissection of the Fantastic Four. Because, you guys saw, spoiler, we're about to kill Reed Richards. So here's the cool thing. We get this Days of Future Past. Like we're in Days of Future Past chronological history. And the Nathan Richards there is, he's like a Cable. So they have their own Cable. And he comes in and he's going to mess around in the Marvel Universe. Again, too, like no one references that. But, the Thing has a trench coat and a metal helmet. And, okay, I get it. You can make fun of it all you want. But it's good. And it works. And, again, too, I like some of the concepts from time to time that remind us. Here we go. We have a younger Nathan. So we're just, and guys, a lot of this, if you want to lean into something, this is where Fantastic Force comes from. Like Fantastic Force like goes right in the middle here. See? The Future War. But this is Days of Future Past. So we get this big X-Men crossover, essentially. But it's the future. But we get this like huge X-Men crossover, but it's really like the future X-Men continuity. Right? Like, it's really cool stuff. We keep going. This issue is so well. I mean, look at the illustrative power here. So well done. But so like we get the Fantastic Four with Doctor Doom, like he's rising in power behind the scenes as Doom should do. The Thing gets transformed. Sue Storm kind of has this sexual awakening. The team's a little bit fractured. Johnny Storm got all this heat, like literally heat, because like he also like burns down a college. He burns down like a whole college campus. And you know, there's 2 issues of fallout for that. So like the team is really upside down, and we read this and we're waiting for a return to center. And it never quite gets there because Onslaught happens and then they kick in Heroes Reborn. This is almost a perfect final run of the characters. Like way more than that weird sloppy multiverse stuff that Hickman did. So we get Fantastic Four no more. You guys know the ending. Doom comes back, but look at these effects. Like, very cool stuff. And then we get Fantastic 3, Fantastic 3, Fantastic 3. And Paul Ryan is there for the entire time. I mean, he literally draws everything the story requires him to draw. Nice reflections. Again, great effects. Nice technology. I love his tech. Like, guys. And sometimes it's a very simple exchange. Like, how do we judge? Why do we look at a lot of the books from this era? We have Black Panther here, right? Like, why do we look at a lot of the books from this era and we have to pretend that there's something different? We have to pretend that they're bad or awful or not well thought out. Here's the wild thing. Fantastic Four during this time did rise in sales. It wasn't like a drastic spike like they got with Heroes Reborn, but yeah, like you read enough to make you want to read the next issue. And that's the whole point. And I understand if a bunch of the readership, like here, look at the recap here. Multiple pages of just flashback recap because so much is going on. But they bring you up to speed. And then we get just like some straight up illustration. Like, give me a character on a rainy Sunday night and draw them. You know, give me the classics. Like, we have a huge flashback here. You can tell we're in the flashback just by the references, how he's drawing. And then, you know, the Thing kind of gets his, you know, like this is where the Thing gets his face fixed. Yeah, and then the future Nathan is revealed to be the current Doctor Doom. Also a giant Doctor Doom trope, right? Like Doctor Doom's never Doctor Doom. He should never be Doctor Doom in any Marvel comic. He's always someone else. Or someone else is always him. AKAPADers, I think Paul Ryan is an absolute unsung hero. I think he powered through a very weird era, a tough era to define in American comics. And he gave a lot to the centerpiece of the Marvel Universe, which is Fantastic Four.